an industrial hub. We are largely an import, economy, and therefore, perhaps we might not be ready for competition control. What would you say to that?
I think based on the report we have seen and some of the key findings, there's competition is generally more of a principle across the globe. The report has seen that, in principle, our law supports that and is comprehensive enough for us to do that. What is happening, what might be more relevant from our perspective to your question, is that we have bigger SMEs, small and medium enterprises, that fall below the threshold for even merger analysis and competition. That could be the dimension we can look at in terms of our market, but there are bigger players in the region and also in Kenya, with also substantive capital outlay in East Africa Community or COMESA region. And therefore, for those competitors who might be few but have substantive market share, although they are not the aggregated small SMEs might, have more capital than them, there's need for us to look at what is their behavior or conduct in the market for us to analyze based on competition principles. So based on that, in my view, is that yes, there are a number of companies, number of entities which qualify to be in that space. And we also need to recognize how can we promote our SMEs. And that's actually one of the mandates that we have, that whenever there's a relationship between big suppliers and buyers, then that also needs to be enforced. And that's one of the mandates of the authority in what we refer to as the buyer power, particularly looking at the retailers and the suppliers, the many suppliers that supply them. So this is more of not competition per se, but looking at the relationship between retailers, the supermarkets, and the suppliers, their suppliers, and what sort of terms exist among them. So this is not directly competition as such, but it's a form of enforcement that allows us to encourage growth of our SMEs so that they graduate into bigger capital outlay.
Of course, looking at how competition